I sure am. I sure am, my friend. Let's get it going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's webinar. I am extremely excited. My name is 𝐍𝐎𝐓 𝐅𝐎𝐑𝐃. As you guys can see, I'm in my car right now. I'm surprised how much voice I have, considering that today I was recording a bunch of trainings. But very happy to be here and very happy to share this information that we're going to share with you guys tonight. My job is very simple. My job is just to set the stage and to introduce the gentleman that's going to be introducing tonight's information, some very, very powerful information. So my suggestion would be that you take copious notes and you pay very close attention to the information that we're going to share tonight, because we literally have something very special. We're doing something here that in our industry, in two industries that we are talking about, the solar industry and the direct sales industry, has never been done. It's never been done like this. And we are in the beginning of something major. So what I would recommend is take copious notes, be uninterrupted for the next 25 to 30 minutes. The gentleman I'm going to introduce is a gentleman that has built some amazing teams. His teams have done, I don't know how much, but I would guess to say over $100 million in sales in his career. That's probably a small number. There could not be a better person for you guys to sit down and listen to an opportunity, because make no mistake about it, this is an opportunity. We are in the beginning of a major boom, and this gentleman knows how to make a lot of money. He knows how to build a business. He's an entrepreneur's entrepreneur. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce my friend, Mr. Kevin Marino.
JC, thank you very much. Hope everybody's having an amazing evening, wherever you're tuning in from, because I'll tell you what, I love getting together. Whether it's Tuesday and Thursday, because those are the nights of the week that we kind of sit here, we reinforce what's going on, and gives everybody the chance to bring people to the information. And my job is to sit here and share that information. And as I'm opening tonight, what I want to do is just, I haven't told this in a while, so I want to just kind of go through it for a couple minutes, kind of how I ended up here. And I mean, basically, we built a lot of big teams over the years. And what had happened is, little by little, I ended up, for the last few years, I kind of stepped back for a while. I was doing some different things. As one could say, I was kind of hiding out in New Hampshire a little bit, kind of trying to figure out what I want to do when I grew up. And, lo and behold, I found out, I decided, hey, it's time. It's time to get back into it. Let's go build again. And I started looking at some different opportunities. I started looking, people brought stuff to me all the time. I started looking at it. And I got to the point that, those of you that have been in the network marketing space, as much as I love it, the problem that I always ran into is 70+% of the people didn't make money, and in most cases lost money. And about 20% of the people made enough to keep them interested. About 7% made good money. 2% made a lot of money, and 1% just made stupid money. And I wanted better odds. And I also didn't think, I said, here's the thing, I don't want to build another team of 50 to 100,000 people. In all seriousness, I kind of had it in my head, I'm not sure if I want to do that again. So as I'm looking around at different opportunities, I said, you know what, let me look at high ticket stuff. All right, because we owned one in the past, about 9-10 years ago, we owned our own solar company. So I said, let me look at high ticket, see what's out there. And I'll tell you, I went looking, and I found some crazy stuff people were selling. And a lot of times it was simply a product or a training or something that people could get online that they really didn't have to pay for, but people were charging $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for it, just so they could pay a monster commission. So I was looking at that, and I said, that's not really where I want to go. So I started just kind of easing towards solar a little bit, and that's when JC and I hooked up again. Now, we hadn't talked for a little while. We always talked back and forth, ran stuff by each other, known each other for a long period of time, but we haven't worked together in the same company. We've always worked in the same industry, but with different companies. But we've always had a great friendship and respect over the years. And he said, hey, listen, he was Kev. He goes, you're kind of where I was coming out of the funk a few years ago. He goes, and here's what I found out. He goes, here's, this is what I felt like. This is where I went into. This is what I learned over that period of time. So as we started talking, what I realized, number one, solar's way better now than it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was brutal. I mean, it was like crazy expensive, not a good deal for the consumer, but the people back then wanted to go solar. They wanted to go green. They wanted to do it. So they were willing to pay significantly more money on a monthly basis to be able to do that. And we made, believe it or not, significantly less money. They paid more, we made less. So as JC and I started talking, I said, wow, I said, this has really changed. This is what I started to look into. And he said, not only that, he goes, what's missing in direct sales companies? And I said, a network marketing component. So the more and more we talked, he started explaining to me that what Byld was going to be doing and how it was setting up was to be a hybrid. And a combination of that high ticket, which pays people really well, but is a real product, combined on a hybrid side with networking, which is where you build massive teams of people to go and get it done. And I said, now that's something I can sink my teeth into. So as we started breaking down the numbers, that's how I ended up with JC over here and working with JC and Wences and the Pachecos over here with Byld. And I'll tell you, and I tell you that because this is something I used to tell when we first were getting started, because people would come to me and say, why are you here? Because if you've been around the industry for a while, you start to know people that don't take joining a company lightly. They look at it, will devour everything that's there and kind of figure out what's behind it. So a lot of people come to me and say, all right, why are you used to sell solar, you walked away from it. Why are you now here? Why are you doing this? So I share that with you because I feel it's important so everybody knows how I got to where we are here, where we are now. What I want to do right now is kind of go through the information. What did I do here? Okay. We're having one of those days, are we? All right, let's get rid of that. There we go. Want to get into the share and kind of go through the details with you of what's going on, where we are, where we're headed, and why Byld. Well, I'll tell you what, as the first thing we want to look at here is, with Byld, it's not your typical, I'm going to say it doesn't fall into either category. It truly is its own category. We're going to work with building your mindset, building your business, building your net worth. And I know people have heard that type of stuff before, but the reality is, and as I go through some of the numbers tonight, you're going to realize that this isn't what you've been dealing with, that you've never seen something like this before. All right. It's good to know right out of the gate, we are a direct sales company, a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. I always say you can tell when you're like-minded entrepreneurs because we're all rowing in the same direction. All right. If everybody's got an oar and you're all doing your own thing, nobody's going anywhere. But the company is going places. Why is it going places? Because we're all rowing in the same direction. You see, it's almost imperative now that people look at building a business because no one's coming to save you. Entrepreneurism used to be something that, hey, excuse me, that would be a lot of fun to do. Excuse me. That would be a lot of fun to do. Maybe I'll check it out. Now it's becoming, hey, I really need to get something going. With what's going on in the country now and where people are coming out of COVID, a lot of people still haven't fully recovered from it. Massive debt crisis with a lot of AI and different stuff that's going on. Businesses consolidating, there's a lot of layoffs. There's been massive inflation because of the inordinate amount of government spending on stupidity. inflation just goes through the roof. Well, we've seen that in spades over the last few years. They're fighting again for higher taxes. The interest rates are up. Bankruptcies are starting to really skyrocket. I hope we're not looking at a recession, because I think everybody here has gone through enough over the last few years. And the job displacement, I'll tell you what, at any given time, pick up Google, pick up your phone, hit Google, and say, ask Google how many companies have laid off, or how many people have companies laid off in the last year. That list will start to blow your mind. And it's just going to continue to happen over and over. Many people are jumping into the gig economy and doing many different things, whether it's Uber or Lyft or bringing food, DoorDash, things like that. Some will get into Etsy and Shopify. Some will build their own stores. But no matter what, you're seeing people gravitate toward things they can do from home to supplement and hopefully eventually be able to take that over, to make that be number one. But when you're looking at some of these things, in order for Uber to be your number one, you have to be able to drive about 50 hours a day. And we all know that's not possible, because they can't make the money, and it's also starts to destroy the cars. So maybe, those that that are doing stuff like that, talk to them about an opportunity. Look, there are different opportunities. We know you're doing something that you need to do right now to make ends meet and to put food on the table and do everything that you got to do. But let's take a look at a business opportunity. Let's look at something that has a huge target market, very low market penetration, essential goods and services, gas, electricity, water. One of the biggest companies we built in the past, especially was mostly in the Northeast, was with being able to help people choose their retail energy supplier. And we used to save people a significant amount of money. One of the reasons I don't do that anymore is we're going to talk about this in a minute, with some of the increases in the utility pricing. It's basically like putting a Band-Aid on a machete wound. I mean, it's gotten so insane in the Northeast and in many other states as well. So you want industries also that will thrive in good and bad economies. All right, guess what? I don't care how good the economy is, how bad the economy is. I don't care what part of the country you live in, whether it's cold or hot. You want electricity, because it's getting dark at night and you want your lights on. It's getting hot in the summer, you want your AC. It's getting cold in the winter, and you probably want some heat. So we have a number of different services. On the right-hand side, what you're looking at is you're looking at our direct selling opportunities. All right, you're looking at home and business security, and you're looking at solar. On the right-hand side, you're looking at some of the networking stuff. You're looking at the Byld rewards, which is travel, shopping, saving, all kinds of really good stuff, and the Smart Money Club. You're going to see more things get added here that are going to even increase the value of what we do more and more as time goes on. Those things are getting close. All right, a little behind the scenes, a little just give you a little little insight that some stuff coming, and it's just going to complement what we have and what we're able to offer the homeowner and the networker both as we go forward. Just being able to offer them more and more. So let's start off with solar, because I'll tell you what, solar is the big ticket item. It is something that really people can sink their teeth into. It is a significant opportunity. Out of the 130 plus million homes in the US, 90 plus million are eligible for solar. Just over 5 million have gone solar, leaving about 85 million homes still without solar on the roof. Folks, that is a monstrous opportunity. You're talking about 94% of the country that has 94% of the eligible homes do not have solar. That spells opportunity. And here's the big headline that goes with that. For every 1% penetration, $5 billion worth of commissions, not $5 billion in sales, $5 billion in commissions for every 1%. That is enormous. All right, pay attention to that. You might want, when JC was talking about copious notes, write that note down, underline it, circle it, because here's the thing, you want your piece of it. All right, we're not sitting there saying, hey, we need to get 1% of the market. You want your piece. All right, that is an enormous pie. We only want our forkful. That's all we need. All right, when it comes to solar for consumers, see, this is where the test. So when I went looking at high ticket items, I have a litmus test. Is the product worth it for the consumer? For the person who's going to use it, are they going to use the product? Is it some stupid product that they're just buying so they can become part of an opportunity and pay out a lot of money to the people who sold it to them? If that's the answer, then you don't want to do it. But guess what? Here's a question. If you have solar on your house, are you going to use it? Yup. Yeah, everybody, yeah, you're going to use it. Why? Because it's getting hooked up. It's going to take over for your electric bill. You're looking at saving upwards of 50% on your energy costs. Zero down financing options. Blackout protection. Those of you that are in areas that see blackout, that see storms come through and the power get knocked out and different things happen, you can blackout protect yourself with the batteries. All right, that's a possibility. Tax credits. Receive a 30% tax credit that you will have up to 5 years to use. All right, looking at an increase in your home value. Why? Because now, guess what? The electricity prices are now locked in. I use the comparison. What if you could have locked in your gas prices in the late 80s, early 90s as you're going through, and you could have locked those gas prices in? How cool would that have been if you could have done that? All right, so if you're still paying like $1.25, $1.50 for a gallon of gas, you'd be like, woohoo, you know, who's better than me? Well, that's what's happening now. So think about people buying homes now that are 10 years, 15 years down the road. And that person who's selling that home locked in their electricity, locked in their energy costs. Because let's say they leased a solar system or they financed a solar system, or maybe they paid it off in full, who knows? But the whole point is, at that point in time, they locked in the cost way back when. So you're talking a significantly less cost than current market pricing. All right, it's clean energy, and you're also looking at, as of 2022, somebody went solar every 44 seconds. You know, and it's just getting faster, folks. It's just getting faster and faster. The different people, as people are coming on and they're buying systems at a greater and greater rate of speed. So our install partner is Freedom Forever, folks. They are absolutely the bomb out there. These guys get it done. They have everybody that works for them, all the installers, everybody's going on somebody's roof, is a W-2 employee of Freedom. All right, they don't sub it all out. They don't have, you know, Johnny come latelys, you know, jumping up on your roof, not doing a good job, competing for their own jobs, things like that. Everybody that comes from Freedom, that shows up at the house, your customer's house, is going to be there from Freedom, working for them, and covered, especially under everything that goes on here. So they're 25-year production guarantee, folks. I haven't seen a better one out there. Different companies offer warranties and stuff like that. Warranties are great, not going to knock them at all. But think about a 25-year production guarantee. That means that when your panels are in there, they are going to, so whatever you are contracted for, they guarantee the production for 25 years. And if it doesn't meet that production, they're going to cut you a check. So what does that mean to you? Well, what it means, number one, consistency. You're going to make sure that you have the right amount of power coming through on a month in, month out basis. They're probably going to know something's wrong with your system before you do. Why? Because they monitor it 24/7. They're going to know what's going on, and they don't want to cut you a check. So they're going to get out there and make sure that that system is fixed, ready to go, and producing the way it should produce. So you're talking 35 states plus Puerto Rico. This company is out there. They get it done. Still has some room to grow throughout the U.S. And obviously, we'll stay on there wherever they start to expand to. We'll be right with them. Now, what do you see here? When you look at this picture, what do you see? Well, basically, it reflects the percentages that I talked about earlier. You're talking a few percent, 5-6% of the houses on this picture have solar, if that. This is a neighborhood that is begging for solar. It is awesome. I mean, very few of the houses have shade. There's people here that are just begging for solar. You could make a fortune and never leave this neighborhood. All right, you could go there and just get it done because there's a lot of folks that need it. So let's look at a couple testimonials because it's important to understand what does this do for people. All right, you're looking in California, saving about $140 a month post having the solar installed. All right, in Florida, this particular system, about $120 of savings. And I got to tell you, when you start to look at it, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, the value of the dollar, because when we talk to people, we're saving them money in today's dollars. They see it, and a couple times, we've talked to people and they say, "Oh, well, I'm looking at, what is it? It's $140 a month. $140 a month adds up, but well, when we present to them, we also help them to understand where the pricing is going based on the history of what the utilities have done over the last 10, 15, 20 years. All right. The pricing is getting jacked. Many, many times when you start to see it, it's not just $140 or $120 that you're saving right now. It's the 140, the 200, the 250, the 300, the 400, the $500 a month that you're saving down the road. So that number starts to be a monster number because what? Just like when I talked about the gasoline and locking it in the early 90s, you're locking in your energy costs up front. So one of the things that JC always said, and it's one of the best statements out there, solar presentation now is not really a presentation. It's an IQ test. You're simply laying out the numbers, and the intelligent people are getting on board because you're giving them the opportunity to lock in those gas prices back in the 90s that they didn't have a chance to do. So in this particular scenario, you're talking a $150 bill is going to escalate over the next 30 years, somewhere pretty north of $1,000 a month. And sometimes people look at it and they go, "Oh, 6 to 8%. Yeah, how can you say that?" Folks, that's an underestimate of what's been going on over the last decade. I just give Connecticut got a bunch of increases. All right, I just left Connecticut, bunch of increases over the last few years. And as I was moving out, so I moved down to Florida on May 1st. On May 1st, Eversource gave a 19% increase on the delivery portion, which is about 2/3 of the bill now up in Connecticut. That's huge. And guess what? Like gas prices will go up and go down. Guess what? Electricity prices never do. They don't go down. All right. They just keep jacking up and up and up and up. So when you start to go the percentage over the years, you start to realize, that's compounding. And that's not the money in your bank that's compounding. All right. That's the money you're paying your utility company that's compounding over the years. So what we want to try to do is help people to lock in their electricity costs with our no money down options, and they can receive a 30% tax credit. Folks, this is just, it's amazing the amount of money on the table for them to save. I would rather customers keep it in their pocket. All right. I don't want to see them pay that money out to the utility. Energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. Excuse me. She's choking me up a little bit. Mr. Warren Buffett said that, and I'll tell you what, this guy has been on it pretty much his entire life. If you've watched what he's done on the trading side, knowing people, knowing companies, knowing businesses, how they're going to progress, what's going to happen, he sees things happen well before they happen. That's how he stays in front of them. And, when he started talking about energy deregulation, some people didn't pay attention. Some of us did. And the ones who did, and the ones who are still paying attention on the way forward, are able to make, a significant amount of money in that sector. So we've talked a little bit about, okay, that's key. Okay, there's dollars involved here now, right? So one of the things people are here for is, all right, you like solar, you like security, you like smart money and how to do stuff like that. You might like travel. There's some really good stuff that you're here for, but you'll want to know, how the heck do I make money? And I get that. And we're going to start first off with personal sales. I'm going to give you a couple different parameters, and we're going to take that all the way through as we talk money. All right. So we're going to talk that the average profit here that we're going to discuss is $10,000 per install. Okay. You as the person, let's say you brought the deal and closed the deal, are going to make 70% of that commission, which is total is $7,000. All right. I try to keep the math pretty simple here. Mentors. All right. Mentors are people who grow within the system and eventually help people who are on their team and who are also just, wherever they are in the company. They help them to close deals for them. So as everybody comes in, when you first get started, you're going to do 3 training sales with a mentor. Now, some people say, I want mentors to close my stuff all the time. No problem. You have that option. You can keep assigning a mentor to your deals and they will close them for you. All right. If you're looking to become a mentor, you're going to do 3 deals with a mentor. You close at least 5 on your own. And then you're going to complete the company certification, which is one of the things that JC was working on. And once you complete that certification, at that point in time, you can become a mentor and you can work with people. And when you close a deal for them, you split that 70% commission. So if it was a $10,000 commission, you each get $3,500. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Now, so let's say a mentor comes in and they're helping 4 consultants that they've brought into the business that are part of their team. They're going to help each of these 4 with their first 3 sales, which is a total of 12 sales, average of $3,500. All right, after the split, it's about $42,000 in commission. Now, when they first showed that to me, I'm like, okay, 12 sales, pretty aggressive during the month. That's pretty good. They're helping their team close them. Maybe they're closing 1 or 2 on their own. And what I realized right out of the gate, there's a couple guys who are just absolutely tearing it up, closing in excess of 12 deals a month. All right, some of them closing a couple dozen, so one of them closed 30 deals in the month. I mean, I'll tell you what, folks, that's getting in and getting it done. That's helping your team, because every time your team is bringing deals to you, as soon as you're doing that and helping them, boom, they're picking up half the deal, which is $3,500 on average. Now think about this. When I started off this Zoom tonight, I talked about being part of a number of different companies out there where 70% of the people, okay, basically lose money in the deals. All right, they're buying product on a monthly basis. They're doing a whole bunch of stuff. They're losing money on a monthly basis. Overall, they're losing money. Think about this for a second, all right? This is something I want you to write down. If somebody works with us here at Byld, they refer one deal, they put $3,500 on average in their pocket. Folks, one deal well into profit for the year. Think about that for a second. For the year. All right. I'm going to get into some of the costs and different stuff, but I want you to think about that for a second. One deal referred. All right. You can't do that anywhere else. So as you're building a team here, because I'm going to encourage everybody to build a team. As you get in, you get started and you want to bring some deals, you want to close some deals, you want to mentor some deals, that's great. Build a team. Why? It's called leverage. All right. As you first start coming in and you're a consultant, you're a builder, which is on the consultant tier here. As people that, let's say you you reached out and you sponsored Bob. Bob goes out, makes a sale. He gets a $10,000 commission. All right. He's going to pick up his 70%. All right. That means 30% remains. Of that 30%, you see the 20% there, where consultant is. You, as a person who referred Bob into Byld, are going to pick up 20% of whatever remains. So if it's $3,000 that remained, you're going to pick up 20% of it, with about $600. Now, as you start to grow and your team starts to grow and you end up with 10 installs in a 60-day period of time, you're going to pop up to manager. 30%. All right, Bob goes out and makes another sale. Instead of 600, the average sale, you're going to start picking up 900. All right, not only that, you're going to start picking up 10% on anybody that Bob has brought into the business, or some of the other folks that maybe have expanded the business. Same thing with director. As you get up to 24 installs, you're going to go up to, the percentages are going to keep increasing. And you can see you're going to work your way toward the national director level. But folks, understand, I mean, you're picking up significant overrides from day one. All right, again, in many companies, you have to build a huge team before you can start picking up overrides. Here, day one, you go out, you refer Bob. Bob goes, makes a sale. You pick up 20% of the remaining $3,600 in your pocket on average. That's a nice number for Bob making the sale, and you sitting there, I don't know, at Starbucks having a coffee. So when you start to look at this and compare it to different things that are out there, you realize why I'm so excited about Byld and what the future brings. So again, manager overrides, 30% on your front level people. So Bob is one of those guys right here. This is Bob. He makes a sale. I'm picking up 30% of the remaining 3,000, about $900. Well, guess what? If Bob brings in Susie, all right, Bob is going to pick up the 20%. He's going to pick up the 600. I'm going to pick up a 10% override, or $300. Woohoo! All right. I mean, when you start to realize what's going on here, and you start to realize as your team builds, there's a significant amount of money that is there to that there for the taking. So let's go with manager. Let's go with 10 consultants doing one sale each. All right, 10 consultants, one sale each during a month. Let's say 4 of them come from your first level, 6 come from somewhere else on your team. You're talking approximately, on average, about $6,300. All right, not a bad month for some overrides. If you do one sale yourself, at that point in time, you're at about 13. Now, folks, if you did that month in, month out, and you walked home and saw that 13,000 was hitting your bank account on a monthly basis, you'd be pretty happy. Well, maybe you decide, you know what? I am pretty happy. Let's get those guys motivated to do just a little bit more. So if each of those 10 goes out now and sells 2, you got 20 deals coming in. 8 from same percentages, 8 from the first, 12 from somewhere else on your team. You're looking at about almost $14,000. All right, if you did one sale yourself, you're talking almost just shy of $21,000 on average. Folks, that's some significant money. All right, that's also $250,000 a year if you did that month in and month out. All right, you could think in your head, where could that go? Where could that go? What happens if I end up with 100 people that do one sale? What happens if I have 200 people that only 50 of them do a sale? You realize that the numbers are big, the numbers grow. And I'll tell you, when you start to look at, what would it cost you to go out there and do this on your own? Start up your own business, put together the marketing, CRM, the operations, sales, accounting, make your relationships with the installs and things like that. You start to realize, wow, that would get out of hand. And instead of doing that, you know what I could do? I could just hook up with Byld, who's tied in with the top installer in the country with the best production, 25-year production guarantee. I can plug in with them just like that. Also, I can talk to homeowners about getting home security. businesses about business security. I have that as another arrow in my quiver, as it were. That used to be one of my friends' favorite saying. Now, people get started a number of different ways. All right, if you're talking with roofers, realtors, contractors, plumbers, electricians, different people like that, guess what? People ask them about solar on a daily basis. If you're in somebody's house, they're going to mention solar to you. It just happens. It just does. All right. It just, as you're talking around, we were at a party this past weekend, happened to be talking about a few different things, and a couple guys mentioned solar. I'm like, oh, this so happens. That's what I do. One of them just shot me his bill today. Still working on a couple of the other guys to get their bills. And then guess what? I'm gonna springboard off them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make them affiliates. Okay. So once we get their deals done, we'll get it on their roof. I'm going to make them an affiliate. It's for free. And I'm going to tell them, listen, anybody you want to refer to me, we put it right in. I'll show them how to do it on the Encore site. It's a piece of cake. It takes about a minute to put in a lead. We'll put that information in, and every single person who goes solar with us, I'm going to give you $1,000. You're going to get paid right out of the system directly to you. I don't even have to make it happen. It's just going to come right out of the system to you because it's set up. That's how I'm going to set you up to be able to do that. Folks, that affiliate position is something, do not discount that position. All right. You want to let people get in and do that. Now, people who are more interested in building a team, you're going to talk to them about consultant or builder. And one of the lines I've used on people, just so you understand it, sometimes I've got people that are like, hey, I'm sorry, I just want to be an affiliate for now. I said, that's okay, don't worry about it. I don't mind. Like, you don't? I was like, well, you're not pushing me to do the monthly? I said, no, I'm not pushing you. Because by you being an affiliate right now, I make about an extra $2,500. So I have no issue whatsoever with you remaining an affiliate. You see, it's the people that all of a sudden at that point in time go, wait a second, what do you mean there's another $2,500 for me? I said, well, if you want, you can become a consultant or a builder. I'm going to explain the difference to you. As a consultant, you can start your own nationwide solar business. You have access to ADT and Brinks, the tech, the trainings, all that is going to cost you at one time $149 a month. But every single person you refer at that point in time, I will still close them for you. But at that point in time, we now split the deals. We each walk away with about $3,500. That makes them think. All right, if you're on this call right now and you were thinking, oh, you know what, maybe I'll just do the free thing, and you realize you're leaving $2,500 on the table, every single person you refer, all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a second. Now the builder is a one-time $199 Same thing as a consultant with the added portions of the Byld Rewards membership and the Smart Money Club membership. Plus, like I said, there's a couple things that are going to continue to be added in there. So, and as they used to say on TV, but wait, there's more. And I'm going to show you there's additional bonuses that go for the builders. But understand, on the consultant and the builder, once you refer for, you don't pay that monthly payment anymore. Okay, so it's your goal. You're going to get in as a builder, like most of you on the line will do. Your goal is to bring people here, let us talk to them, let us go through the information, and once they see what's going on, they're going to understand it like you're understanding and say, no, I don't want to leave any money on the table. All right, I want that split. I want that $3,500 on average when I refer somebody, not $1,000. No problem. This is what it takes. Hop in as a builder. We're going to show you that there's additional dollars as well. But before we get to the dollars, you need to understand the Smart Money Club is giving people the ability to repair and build their credit, tax planning, be your own bank, tax-free retirement, entity structuring. Very, very important. If you're going to build a huge business, you want to make sure your entities are structured properly. So you pay the taxes that you're supposed to pay, not pay any additional. You're able to establishing corporate credit. Now, even if you have another brick and mortar business, you can utilize these business mastery techniques to benefit that business as well, not only your Byld business. All right, so you want to make sure that you're in a position to take full advantage of the dollars you're putting together. Now, on the Byld membership side, you're looking at at restaurants and hotels and all kinds of travel providers and retailers. I mean, you're talking over a million right now in North America that you can utilize your membership in these different places. All right, the average person, if you're going to use it, it says here $2,500 to $3,500. I will tell you, if you utilize it, you'll save a lot more than that, and everything from food to shopping to travel, to I don't know what else was I getting. Getting my car worked on, dry cleaning, all different things in your area will be on here. You might find your favorite restaurant is already there, and you get a 10% off your entrees, or you get a free appetizer every time you go there with an entree. So you might as well take advantage of it. It's included. So it's included, utilize it. You can save more here than the membership will ever cost you. So it's really cool stuff. Now, here's the bonus I was telling you about. Remember I said, but wait, there's more? So the builders, as you continue to build, is what we call a dual team. Some of you know it as a binary. This is similar, but just a little bit different. You do have a team one and a team two, with a left and a right. And as you have builders that are on the left and builders that are on the right, 10 of each, $500, not a one-time 500. That's $500 per month. All right. Same with when you go to 1,000, builder 1,000, 2,000, you go to 25 on each side, 50, 55 on each side. You see that the monthly residual starts to move up further and further and further. I mean, there's a significant amount of residual that's on the table. And then you also see on the matching bonus side of things, it gets out of hand. I'm not even going to get into that because it starts to get all kinds of crazy on there. Suffice to say, there's even more dollars than this on the table. So what does that take to get started? That's the builder. That's the 199. That's why the vast majority of you are here on this line, to be able to start your own nationwide solar business, your ADT, your security business, access to all text trainings, all different types. I mean, there's a lot of videos. There's people who are doing some of the trainings for us that are literally some of the best, most successful people in the solar space, whether it's a door-to-door, whether it's calling on the phone, doing Zooms, whatever it is. These people have been there and done it consistently year after year after year, and you get to learn directly from them. Some of them are going to be live. Some of them are going to be on tape. Just absolutely phenomenal information. You'll have access to Byld rewards, Smart Money Club membership, and remember, refer for, pay no more. I'll tell you what, folks, it's been my pleasure to spend some time with you this evening. I hope you had as good a time as I did. Tuesday night, all right, same bad time, same bad channel. Bring the people here. Bring them here. Let us talk to them. Let us go through the information so they understand it. Utilize the tools that you have at your disposal. We always say, use a tool, don't be a tool. On that note, everybody have an amazing evening. We'll see you all real soon. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marino.
Have a great night, all.